Okay, welcome to this very short video just on paediatric intensive care. The general idea here is that we'll spend a couple of minutes walking around, all on video. I'm going to try and narrate it in one shot so that we can, you can, when you come, know where everything is. Let's see how well that works out. Okay, so here we are, first floor, Lanesborough Wing, and we're going to go into PICU now. I'll try and do the whole thing as a point of view. And we start just out here in the entrance lobby. Entrance lobby has several important things in it. Let's start off by having a look in the seminar room. The seminar room, as you can see, that's lots of space in here, and that's where we do things like all of our main meetings during the day. So that's 8:30 when we do our handover in the morning. We also have teaching at 9, and then at 11 to 1 we have our main multidisciplinary ward round, and we look through all of the charts together. So moving out from there, another very important room which has no label on at all is the doctor's rest room. And so if you're on nights, we'd expect that you will need some sort of a lie down at some point, so this is where it happens. Looks like some new bedding is needed, which is at the other end of the ward. There's a shower as well there, and if you've got a bike that you don't want stolen outside, you can pop it in here too. Moving on, let's go to the rest of the unit, and as we go through we can see various things like our data room and our research office, and then we're into the main body of the PICU itself. Now, as we walk around, we've got 10 beds in this area, and then there's a further 4 beds in our step-down unit upstairs, which we use for LTV and high dependency patients. What you'll see as we walk around here is 4 beds on the left, there's 4 beds on the right, and there's these 2 cubicles here which are for kind of infection control and immune deficiency issues. We won't be going in there for that very reason. Around this side we've got lots of fridges like these, which have got different things in that you will want but perhaps won't need to get out, and one very important fridge under here which has paralysis agents in it. So that's where this box is, and you can see all sorts of useful things on there. Other medications are in this large cupboard here, including all the CDs that you might need for various different reasons. Now I'm going to highlight one other trolley here, which is the airway trolley. And the airway trolley here I'd like you to have a special look at when you actually arrive, because you might need to use it in a hurry. Exactly where everything is in it, there's nothing worse than saying, could I have looking through for a short McGill's or whatever you want, and you can't find the damn thing. So that's where that is. Now the other thing to note is all of the bed spaces are pretty much the same. So we'll just have a look at one bed space as an exemplar, and just for patient confidentiality I'll keep the camera down. And what you can see on the right hand side are these 2 trolleys here. And this first trolley here has got all your kind of tubes and things that you might want in there that you can just pull out and use as you wish. And pretty much everything you need for most procedures will be there. This one's much more about kind of care of the patient. So there's things like cotton wool balls and Inca pads, etc. Now every single bed space has this line. You see the line on the ground there? This line here is over which infection control becomes an issue, and so when you go over there, it'd be expected that you'd wash your hands and put on a gown if you're going to be interacting with a patient, and if not, you'd just be using some gel like this. So that's on the right side of the patient. And the other thing you'll see as we look over here is all of these machines here. This is the fluid side of things, so feed and infusions would be there. On the other side of the patient is our monitoring and our ventilator. So again, have a play with these. That's going to be in a separate video, how you actually drive one of these ventilators if you're unfamiliar with it, and a few tricks and tips with the monitoring as well to make it more useful. So every bed space is basically like that, so it's very simple to use that. One other place I'm just going to show you on the floor here is the doctor's office, which is right here, and you can see some people hard at work here in the office, or just laughing at me, as is normally the case. And so do find a space either in here or in one of the consultants' offices or somewhere else to do your interaction with the machines. We have a crash trolley here as well. This is basically, we hardly ever use this because most of our patients don't need electricity, and there's things like suction available at the bedside. Okay, what we'll do is we'll move around to the back of the unit now, where some of our other facilities are. Just as we're passing, we note the amazing Stevie, who is our ward manager. Now here at the back we've got the blood gas room, which is not being used at the moment, but we'll just have a look at that. This is our latest blood gas machine, which is even smaller than the one before, which was already tiny. I don't know how to use it, but the nurses are very good at that, so if you need a blood gas, just ask them to get that sorted out, and that will be sorted out immediately. Moving back here, we've got next thing to see is our ultrasound machine. This is also good for echo as well. We usually put lines in with a different machine, which I'll show you in just a moment, but this machine, which is for echo and ultrasound, is sitting here in the corridor. Now here on our right is our equipment room, and again this is quite useful for things that you won't find in the side of the bed, and most important for us, if you're siting something like, say, a central line, you'll find that in this area, which is the sort of PPE area. You've got lots of things like gowns and packs there, and somewhere along here in the access department you'll find things like central lines of various different sizes and descriptions in there as well. So we've got lots of different ones there, and it's always worthwhile having a quick chat with a consultant on if you're not sure about what line to put in what patient, but that's where everything might be. As we move through towards the back, we get next to our medical technician's office. This is the amazing Mark who keeps all our machines running, and the other thing you'll find here is some further ultrasound machines, including this site right here, which we use for siting lines because it seems to work better than the ultrasound machine at doing that. So that's what we tend to use for that. All the other machines you might need are back here as well, including our filters. No one seems to be needing filtration at the moment. Oscillator, nitric oxide, CPAP, oscillator again, lots of cool stuff back here. Other thing to note up here are our VASCATs that you might need of various different sizes. And of course, one of the challenges of working with children is, yes, they're different size, so you might need a different size machine or piece of piping for them. Up at the back of the consultant offices, as you can see, no one's doing any work at all today. Then let's see if we can find someone actually doing some work. That's my office. No one's doing any work there. But you'll find always if the consultants are actually doing some work, clinical work that is, they're wearing purple. That's how you know. And there we are. And sweating hard as well, which is not good to see. Now finally, past the toilets, another very important room you've got back here is the staff room, and in the staff room you'll find a fridge where you can put your dinner, microwave where you can heat it up, toaster so that we can call the fire brigade, and endless supplies of hot water. So this is the most important room to actually be in. So I think that's probably about it in terms of what the tour involves. So do feel free to have a good explore, and particularly actually familiarise yourself with what's at the different bed spaces, and particularly what's in the airway trolley. I hope you enjoy your time here and you find everything you need in these walls. Cheers.